A war already lost. The galaxy had never known such despair. Stars that once burned brightly now flickered under the shadow of a merciless enemy. Entire fleets of the Galactic Alliance had been obliterated, leaving shattered remnants drifting through the void. Planets were reduced to ash and rubble, their civilizations scattered or extinct. The alien invaders moved with relentless precision, their ships cutting through defenses like a blade through silk, leaving nothing but fear in their wake. In the central chamber of the Galactic Council, representatives from dozens of worlds sat in stunned silence. Their vibrant armor and elegant robes could not hide the exhaustion etched into their faces. Strategy charts, holographic battle maps, and historical records lay scattered around them, showing nothing but failure. Systems thought secure for centuries were gone, and no plan remained unbroken. For the first time in history, the Council faced a truth too terrible to deny: they had lost. One elder delegate, a being of crystalline structure whose voice resonated like a choir of bells, finally broke the silence. "There is one option left," it whispered. The chamber stiffened. All eyes turned toward the voice. "We could summon the humans." A wave of disbelief swept through the room. Murmurs, laughter, and outright ridicule erupted. "Humans?" A winged envoy screeched, wings fluttering in agitation. "They are reckless. Unpredictable. They would destroy more than they save." Another voice, gravelly and serpent-like, hissed, "They are barely advanced enough to defend themselves. You propose the galaxy's last hope rests on them." But the elder did not flinch. "They are chaos, yes. But chaos has its place when all order has failed. If we do nothing, we are already extinct. Perhaps humans are our only chance." The room fell silent again, heavier than before. Each representative wrestled with the idea. The humans were known throughout the galaxy as wildcards, brash and undisciplined, yet capable of remarkable feats of ingenuity and courage. They had been minor players in galactic affairs, underestimated by every other species. And now, in the shadow of annihilation, the Council had no other option. Finally, a vote was cast, not unanimous, not confident, but decisive. "Summon them," the Council decreed. And with those words, the galaxy pinned its last hope on a species that had always been doubted, mocked, and dismissed. A tremor of anticipation and fear rippled across the chamber. The humans, whatever their strengths and flaws, were about to step onto a battlefield that no other species had survived. Outside the chamber, stars gleamed as if mocking the Council's desperation. But in the distance, a few bright blue lights flickered, a hint that something new, something fierce, was coming. Humanity was on its way. The reluctant choice. When the Council's decision was announced, the galaxy held its collective breath. Humans were not summoned lightly. Across countless systems, species had debated their reliability for decades. They were brash, impulsive, and often reckless, yet they possessed a spark no other species could replicate: ingenuity, courage, and the will to defy odds that seemed impossible. Now, in the darkest hour, that spark was all the galaxy had left. Human fleets mobilized with astonishing speed. Across Earth and its colonies, ships fired up engines, soldiers donned high-tech armor, and commanders issued orders with uncanny precision. Unlike the meticulous alien species, humans thrived on adaptability, improvisation, and rapid learning. Every crew member knew the stakes. They were humanity's first expedition into a galactic war that could either make or destroy their species' reputation among the stars. Alien observers watched with skepticism as human ships entered the void. Unlike the polished, standardized fleets of the Alliance, the human vessels varied in size and design, some sleek, some heavily armored, and all bristling with unconventional weapons. "They are disorganized," muttered one alien general, eyes narrowing. "This will be their downfall." Yet as the humans approached the battlefront, their unpredictability became evident. They dodged asteroid fields with daring maneuvers, repurposed captured alien tech mid-flight, and coordinated attacks in ways no alien strategist had predicted. Where machines expected patterns, humans created new ones. Where algorithms failed, intuition prevailed. Their boldness was disarming, their determination intoxicating. On the ground, human soldiers disembarked, stepping onto planets scorched by war. They did not hesitate at crumbling fortresses or collapsing cities. They adapted, fortified, and struck with precision, turning chaos into opportunity. Alien allies whispered among themselves, or slowly replacing doubt. They might actually succeed, one admitted quietly. Despite their achievements, not all humans were confident. Many felt the weight of expectation, aware that the galaxy's last hope rested on their shoulders. But their fear was tempered by instinct, ingenuity, and a stubborn refusal to yield. Every mission, every engagement, reinforced one truth: humans thrived where others faltered, and their unpredictability was their greatest weapon. As the sun set over the war-torn horizon, fleets and armies prepared for the first full engagement. The aliens who had once mocked humanity now watched warily, realizing that these humans were not mere reinforcements. They were a force entirely unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The gamble of the Council had begun, and the first signs were clear. The human spark might just turn the tide of a lost war. Humanity unleashed. The battlefield was a chaotic storm of fire, smoke, and shattered metal. Alien forces had prepared for destruction, confident that the humans would falter like every other species before them. But the moment human soldiers landed, the rules of engagement changed. They moved with purpose, weaving through debris, coordinating attacks with a fluidity that alien commanders could scarcely predict. Where alien formations were rigid and predictable, humans adapted instantly. Tanks dodged plasma strikes with daring maneuvers, squads used improvised cover and improvised weapons, and air units darted through the sky with audacious aerial tactics. Every human soldier seemed to anticipate the battlefield's chaos, turning unpredictability into a weapon. Human engineers repaired damaged vehicles mid-combat, repurposed captured alien weapons, and hacked enemy systems on the fly. Alien fleets, accustomed to overwhelming numerical superiority, found themselves disrupted by coordinated human attacks that struck where they were weakest. Entire enemy divisions fell in confusion, unable to comprehend the audacity and flexibility of these strange newcomers. The aliens' initial laughter, their earlier dismissiveness, had vanished. In its place was shock, fear, and grudging respect. How are they doing this? One commander hissed, wings trembling with disbelief. They should not be able to fight like this. Another watched as a human pilot, alone and outnumbered, executed maneuvers that left entire squadrons decimated while sustaining minimal losses. Humans did not fight with blind rage. They fought with ingenuity. They exploited weaknesses in enemy formations, predicted attacks, and often turned mistakes into opportunities. Every daring move, every unexpected strategy, sent shockwaves through the alien forces, breaking morale and creating openings that no other species could have found. As the sun rose over the battlefield, the tide had shifted dramatically. Alien forces that had seemed invincible were now retreating, disoriented and battered. Human troops pressed forward, not with recklessness, but with calculated audacity that combined courage and intelligence. Where the galaxy had been on the brink of annihilation, hope now pulsed strong and bright. For the first time, the aliens realized the truth: humanity was not a gamble. Humanity was a storm. Unpredictable, unstoppable, and relentless, humans fought not because they were the strongest, but because they refused to accept defeat. And in that refusal, they had turned despair into victory, and the last chance into a decisive force the galaxy had never expected. The last chance becomes the first victory. The battlefield had been transformed. What once was a landscape of ruin and hopelessness now pulsed with the disciplined chaos of human ingenuity. Fires still burned across shattered cities and starports, but every explosion, every plume of smoke, now marked a battlefield that humans had mastered. Alien forces, once unchallenged conquerors, staggered under the relentless tide of human strategy and courage. Human soldiers moved with confidence born of instinct and experience, their eyes scanning constantly for opportunities where others saw only despair. Ground troops coordinated seamlessly with air units and orbital fleets, improvising maneuvers in real time that turned the enemy's strength into vulnerability. Engineers patched damage on the fly, repurposed alien technology mid-battle, and rigged defenses in ways no one else could imagine. The aliens' arrogance, their assumption that humans were weak, was gone. Where they had once expected disorder and retreat, they now faced precision combined with audacity, and adaptability combined with relentless courage. Entire alien divisions broke under the pressure, abandoning positions they had held for centuries. Commanders who had expected victory were now fleeing, their disciplined formations turned into scattered remnants. Even more astonishing was how humans fought, not merely to survive, but to win with honor and purpose. Civilians in liberated zones were protected wherever possible, allies were coordinated with care, and every action was guided by a balance of intelligence and morality. Humanity's presence on the battlefield became a symbol, not only of raw power, but of a species that could defy odds, improvise solutions, and inspire hope. By the time the last alien command ship retreated beyond known space, silence fell across the galaxy. The Council, watching from orbiting stations and command hubs, struggled to process what had happened. The humans, one elder whispered, they were not the last chance, they were the turning point. For the first time, other species acknowledged humanity not as reckless brutes, but as equals, perhaps even as leaders in the art of war and strategy. Stories of bravery, innovation, and unflinching courage spread across systems like wildfire. Humans had arrived when all hope was gone and had changed the fate of the galaxy. The once dying alliance celebrated not only survival, but a new era of cooperation and respect. Humanity had proven that strength was not measured solely by technology or size, but by adaptability, courage, ingenuity, and an unyielding will to persevere. The galaxy had called upon its last hope, and found in humans something far greater than mere hope. And as the stars twinkled overhead, silent witnesses to the triumph, one truth became clear: humanity was not just a species of the galaxy. Humanity was a force, a spark capable of lighting the darkest corners of the universe.